welcome to our Wednesday night success tip right here on the Destiny Global Facebook page. My name is Carmen and I am one of the trainers. And if we've never met before, or if this is your first time on one of these success tips, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the Facebook Live. I would love to know in the comments, where are you watching from? Where are we, in this cool world of technology where I can be in my home office in Georgia and you can be wherever you're at around the world watching this video tonight. Like, isn't that kind of cool? Like, you can be sitting under the stars. You can be sitting in the hot tub. You can be at your kitchen table. You can be doing a workout. You could be doing taxes. You could be doing a lot of different things, but we are here together tonight to give you this really powerful success tip that we have prepared. And so also while you're watching, if we do these success tips right here on the Destiny Global Facebook page every other week. So every 2 weeks, there is free information, free success tips coming at you from one of the trainers. And a lot of this information, like I use in coaching appointments. We teach some of these different concepts at events. Like people pay, listen, my one-on-one coaching fees are $600 an hour and there's a wait list. So anytime you can get free information that actually works, you want to make sure to mark your calendar, share it. Make sure if you have not liked the Destiny Global Facebook page that you do that so you're not missing any of this. And so tonight we are in the middle of March. We are 2.5 months into 2022. And tonight we're going to talk about a success law. And we're going to actually, we're going to kind of dive into it a little bit. And we're going to be going more into this law at our upcoming event, First Steps to Success, that is April 29th through May 1st. So it's going to be in about another month and a half. But we're going to get started on this tonight because what we're going to talk about, I hope you came with ears to hear and with eyes to see. Because what we're going to talk about tonight is one of my secret weapons when it comes to success. It is one of the things that I know without a shadow of a doubt has helped me succeed in so many areas of life, whether it's been business, whether it's been finances, whether it's been inside of our marriage, whether it has been inside of our home, whether it's been creating wealth, whether it's been starting businesses and growing them, becoming the #1 recommended person it is at what you do. I want you to imagine. I want you to stop and pause for a second. Actually living out your life. Think about all your dreams. Think about all your goals. Think about your goal marriage, your dream marriage. Think about your dream job or your dream business. Think about your dream kids and yourself as a dream mom or dad. Not frustrated all the time, not, using the iParent 24 hours a day, not counting down the minutes, seconds until the kids are in bed and sleeping. Imagine yourself living the life that you want to live. And so there are people out there doing that. There are people out there living the life they were created to live. And then there are people settling for what life has handed them, getting kicked around, being frustrated, being irritated and aggravated and depressed and, really walking through life as a shell of who they're supposed to be. And I say all that to say that this one thing that we're going to talk about tonight, I know without a shadow of a doubt is responsible for success in so many different areas in our life. I look at where my life is today, a full-time mom, working part-time, been able to grow businesses to millions and millions and millions of dollars, help other people make a 6- and 7-figure income that have never done it before, help people pay off all of their debt, including their marriage, including their mortgage, and just helping people cross over from ordinary to extraordinary. And that is a real thing. That's not just a tagline. That's not just something that sounds cliche. Your life can go from ordinary to extraordinary. Your life, no matter what your past is, no matter how many times you failed in the past, no matter how many the odds are stacked against you, with the right knowledge, with the right skill, and with this tip, this law that we're going to cover tonight, your life can go from ordinary to extraordinary. So let's go ahead and jump in. Tonight, we're going to talk about the law of honor. Okay, we're going to talk about the law of honor. I have my whiteboard tonight. We have the law, and you know what? I have these nice little colored markers down here. We're going to put it in pink, which is my favorite color. The law of honor. Okay? Now, honor, that's one of those words that, I don't know, it sounds pretty. We know we're supposed to do it. We know it's in the Bible, honor, love your neighbor, whatever. But when it comes to actually walking it out, there can be some struggles. There can be some struggles. Let's just be honest, especially in the world we're living in today. We are living in a world that is a cancel culture. We are living in a world where honor is not cool. We are living in a world where dishonor, to cut down, to belittle, to be sarcastic, to make fun of, is actually cooler than being kind. They have those shirts that says be kind. Be kind has become a tagline versus a mandate on the way in which we live our lives. And so over this next little bit of time, we're going to be actually looking at what does the law of honor look like? And how can you use this success law to help move your life in a direction that would be extraordinary? How would you help move your life to living your dream life to actually doing it instead of just dreaming it? And so, let's go ahead and get into the law of honor. And, I talked about this cancel culture that we live in, and it really is a crazy thing. Back when I was growing up, when I was a child, I can remember going over to my grandparents' house, and honor really wasn't an option. Like, you honored. Like, if I didn't honor my grandparents, I got in trouble. If you didn't honor your teacher, you got in trouble. Let's go back to our parents' day and age. If you didn't show honor, you would get the crap smacked out of you. And if you were dishonorable in school, the teacher would take you out in the hallway and they would, honor was just a way of life. We didn't not talk to our neighbor because we didn't like who they voted for. But in today's age, oh goodness gracious, we dishonor people, we cancel people, we cut them out, we stop talking to them, we unfollow them on Facebook, we unfollow them on Instagram, we unfriend them on Facebook, we unsubscribe on YouTube for the silliest freaking things. It's not always big things like, some guy went and killed somebody. No, we actually cancel people, cut people out of our lives for who they voted for how they feel on vaccines or masks. Oh, you think we should wear a mask? You're out of here. Oh, you don't think we should wear a mask? Well, you're unsafe and I'm not going to be around you. There are families that aren't talking right now because of the last election and who the person voted for. We cut people out for differences of opinions. We cancel people in our own lives because we don't like their stance on whether they breastfed or not, whether they vaccinate their kids or not, whether they, what they post on social media or what they don't, how long it takes them to return our phone call or our text. We live in a culture that believes the worst, that sees the worst when it comes to other people. And what I'm going to tell you is honor and dishonor is a choice. It is a habit. It's a personal mandate that we all have. And honor and dishonor is more about us than it ever is about another person, another place, another thing, or another human being, or another circumstance. And honor and dishonor, when we honor, it helps us. When we dishonor, it actually hurts us. When we honor it, and I'm going to give you some specific examples of how to do this and what this looks like and how to walk this out. But when we dishonor, it actually moves us further away from our goals. And when we honor, it actually moves us closer to our goals. By the way, for those of you that are watching right now, if you joined us late, hey, welcome to the broadcast. For those of you that are giving little emojis, little thumbs up and little hearts and little, oh, wow faces, you're amazing. Like those little emojis are Facebook Live currency, and they let me know I'm not here by myself. So for those of you that are fully attentive, fully engaged, giving the little emojis, thank you. You're awesome. And it really encourages my heart. So thank you for doing that. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the definition of honor, okay? The definition of honor. So honor is actually biblical, by the way. For those of you that believe in the Bible, you read the Bible, it actually is biblical to honor. And tonight we're talking about honoring our fellow humans, honoring other people, all right? And so we're actually supposed to honor above the way we would honor ourselves. I'm going to say that again. True honor is to honor somebody else, their form, their opinion, their idea, what they're doing, what they're not doing, above the way we would honor ourselves. How would you say, as a culture, we're doing with that? Like, how would you say, as a culture, how would you say you're doing with, if you were to grade yourself on your report card, and you were to say, how am I doing when it comes to honoring other people in above the way I honor myself? How would you say we're doing with that? All we have to do is look around the world, the wars, the breakups, the fights, the commotion, the turbulence that is going on. And we would all probably agree that as a world, we're not doing very well. We're not doing very well. And there's a very specific number when it comes to, if you've been involved in any of our training here at Destiny Global, you'll know this number. And when I'm living my life, I remind myself of this number very often. And it's 98 and 2%. Let me actually go over it with the black marker. 98 and 2%. 98, here's the numbers. These are the numbers. These are the true facts, statistics. 98% of the population is dead or dead broke at the age of 65. Only 2% is financially free. So only 98% of the world is actually succeeding in hitting their goals. The rest of the world is not, okay? And none of us are put here just to be ordinary. We were put here to be extraordinary. No, we weren't put here just to be good. We were put here to be great. And I believe that with everything inside of me. And so part of doing that is taking a look at what everybody else is doing. Hear me. It's taking a look at what everybody else is doing and doing the exact opposite. Okay? So the definition of honor is to value, to respect or hold in high esteem, to treat as precious, weighty, or valuable. To treat as precious, to treat as weighty. Like when someone speaks, their words hold weight. They're not insignificant. They are valuable. They are a woman or man of worth. So when we're looking at honor, we also have to look at what is dishonor. And dishonor is to treat as common or ordinary, nothing special, not worthy of praise, insignificant, doesn't matter. And so if we just look, honor, if we just look at that, honor builds up. Honor believes the best in other people. Honor encourages. Honor treats with high esteem. It finds somebody precious. It finds their value. It chooses to see value. It doesn't say it sees value in a perfect person or a perfect circumstance. There's value in everything. There's value in everybody. Everybody brings value. We just choose whether we see it or not. Dishonor tears down. It criticizes. It belittles. It assumes the worst. It assumes the worst. It treats as common or ordinary, no special ability, no special talent. You're just ordinary. So I want to give you some examples of what this actually looks like when it comes to life and how this cycle of honor, most of us have a cycle of honor. And when you start applying this, leaving here tonight, see, some of you hadn't even thought about this before tonight. And we're not responsible for what we don't know, but we are responsible for what we do know. And so leaving here tonight, when you start applying this, holy guacamole, you are going to see your life quickly start to move, start to shift in a more positive, joyful, freaking direction. Because it just, when you apply the law of honor, it can't help but to move in a better direction. Period. End of story. No matter what, even if you were in a pit and you're like, Carmen, you don't know, I am in a pit of hell right now. You start doing this. You're not going to get out overnight, but you will get out and things will turn around. So let's go ahead and talk about your dream job for a second. All right. So anybody ever had a dream job? Like you had this job that you were like, man, if I can just get that job, things would be amazing. Like if I got that job, it would just be my dream. Like you had a goal of a job that you wanted. Okay. Now what happens when you're preparing to even get the job? Right? Like you dream about it, you daze about it, you fantasize about it, you think about the days at work, you look at the outfits you would wear to the job, the briefcase you would have, what drink you would get on the way into work at Starbucks. We daydream, we plan for, we fantasize, we get the job. Now I want you to imagine you got your dream job. We go out, we get a new outfit, we pick out what we're gonna wear ahead of time, we wake up before the alarm goes off, we get into work, we get in there early, we have a perma smile on our face all day long, we're saying, hey, hi Bob, hi Sue, we're saying hi to people we don't even know, we're even smiling at the person that's not smiling back at us, because we didn't even know. When you are excited about that job, and you show up with natural honor, you don't even pay attention to the dude that didn't smile at you because you're too busy smiling at everybody else. All right. So we wake up early, we get into the job, we're doing our very best. The boss tells us Susan didn't show up. There's this extra thing that has to be done. We naturally volunteer. Hey, I would be glad. We treat that job as extraordinary. We treat that job as precious. We treat that job as weighty. Even if you're excited about it. You're not taking it for granted. You feel so blessed to have gotten the dream freaking job. That when the boss says Susan didn't show up, we need somebody to run downtown and get the printing, you say, well, I can do it on my lunch break. It doesn't even occur to you that it's not your job. It doesn't even occur to you that it's going to cut into your lunch break. Why? Because that job is so freaking precious to you, none of that stuff matters. Then a little time passes, we settle into the job, we get comfortable, we get our office going. We start to take it for granted. We start to treat that dream job as ordinary. Did you hear me? We start to treat that job as ordinary, which was in the definition of dishonor, as regular, as common, as nothing special. Because honor treats something as special. Dishonor treats it as nothing special. We're no longer showing up early. In fact, we have this new problem. We're now always running late, and maybe traffic got worse. We say it's all these things going on in our life, but maybe the first month we didn't have a problem showing up on time at all. But now can't show up on time. When something extra has to be done, that's not my job. We find ourselves going home and complaining about our boss, our coworkers, the economy. Our entire attitude changes about the job. Let's take a look at marriage. Same thing in marriage. when we start dating somebody, even before we start dating, when we know we're on the prowl, when we know we're looking, we keep ourselves looking nice. We do our hair, we do our makeup, we brush our teeth. Ladies, you put a bra on, your best one, gotta keep the girls up. You men, you wear your cologne, you're smelling good, you're looking good, the car's clean if you know you're picking your date up in it, right? We overlook all the weaknesses. We treat them extraordinary. We treat them special. We treat them like they're significant. We treat them like they matter. We open the door. And then just like the job, after we've been married for a little while, we settle in. We start to take the spouse for granted. We start to treat them as ordinary. We start to treat the spouse. We're not honoring them above ourselves any longer. We come home from work. The husband comes home from work and he's like, "What's for dinner? My boss is a jerk. What'd you do today? Here's what I did. All these dang kids. Where's the remote? Let's watch the football game. By the way, you want to get busy tonight?" And then he wonders why the wife is like, "No." Because, listen, when you treat the marriage, when you treat it ordinary, it becomes ordinary. When you don't treat it special and set apart, it isn't. I want to make sure I read this properly. When what once was special and extraordinary becomes ordinary. I'm going to say that again. When what once was special and extraordinary becomes ordinary, you start to get ordinary results. If you want extraordinary, if you want special, if you want set apart, you have got to treat it like that. And that is what honor does. Honor honors the other person above the way we would honor ourselves. Honor comes home inside of the marriage and wants to know how their day was. Honor isn't waiting for my turn to talk. Honor isn't seeing what that spouse can do for me. And with the trap a lot of us get caught into is, well, you know what, Carmen? When my husband, when he deserves honor, when he acts in such a way, when he acts like an honorable man, then I will honor him. Carmen, when my wife quits nagging me and actually cooks dinner and acts like an honorable woman, then I will honor her. Have fun with that. That's two people saying, serve me. Serve me first and then. At your job, if you're waiting for your boss to notice your talent, if you're waiting for your boss to come alongside and say, "Oh my gosh, amazing job today, Karen." If you are waiting on somebody else to serve you first, you're going to be waiting a long time. It's not about waiting for the right circumstance, the right person, the person to act right to show honor. It's about it being a personal mandate, a personal code of yours that I'm going to use this law of honor whether anybody else is or not. This is my code. This is my personal mandate, and I'm going to show honor. I'm going to walk in honor. I'm going to choose honor. I'm going to believe the best. I'm going to choose to see extraordinary. I'm going to choose to see the opportunity in every single thing. I'm going to choose to see the good in other people. Because when you are on a quest to see the good in other people, you see the good. But the reverse is also true. When you are on a quest to be offended, and we live in this culture, oh, holy guacamole, that is so freaking perpetually offended. I didn't like what you said. I didn't like the way you talked to me. I didn't like the way you looked at me. I didn't like the way you didn't look at me. I didn't like what you said. I didn't like what you didn't say. Right? We all know people that no matter what you do, they're offended. They find a way to be offended. If you are on a quest to find offense, you will always find it. You will always find it. And when you're always offended, you're walking in dishonor. Why? Because you're choosing to believe the worst, even if it's about yourself. Because honor believes the best. Honor doesn't, you walk into a room, if you have a mandate of honor, some people are laughing. You don't believe they're laughing at you. You believe the best. They must have just saw something funny. They must have told a joke. Someone must have farted. That is what honor does. Honor is a matter of your own heart and your own humility. Here's the funny thing about giving honor. When you give honor to even dishonorable people, what tends to happen 99.9% of the time, they start honoring. When you believe the best, when you encourage, when you lift up, they start to do it too. And the same is also in reverse. When you believe the worst, when you nag, when you disrespect, when you belittle, when you criticize, the same is also true. We were in a group, I was doing a class, and I had somebody say, well, Carmen, was talking about marriage. How do I, my husband isn't like your husband. He doesn't work hard. He's not this. He's not that. Yeah, I understand it's easy for you to talk about honor because you have a good husband. If my husband was like your husband, I would honor too. And the funny thing was, she didn't know our past. She didn't know what we had been through. And I very quickly told her, is it possible that I have the husband I have because I honored through the crap? I honored when I didn't want to. I honored when his behavior didn't deserve honor. Because honoring him was more about me. It was more about my personal mandate. It was about me seeing the best through his flaws, through his crap. Honor is about your choice, not about what the other person does. So I'm going to give you 3 different areas to walk this out before we end. 3 different areas that you can start walking in honor starting tonight. Number 1, honor with your mind, your thoughts. Listen, we are not responsible for the thoughts that come into our mind. We are responsible for what we do with them. And the mind is the gateway to everything else. How we think controls everything else. So if you are stinking thinking, eventually it's going to catch up with you. And so let's just say the thought comes in, your husband's being a jerk. Oh, that jerk. You don't say it, but you think it. It's only a matter of time before you're now saying it. And it's only a matter of time you're saying it that now you start acting, because who wants to be married to a jerk? So now I'm not going to be married to a jerk. I'm not going to be married to this guy. And then we become another statistic of divorce. But it all started in here. It all started with how we were thinking. And so if that thought, again, we're not responsible for the thought. We are responsible for what we do with it. And so if you're married to another human being, I guarantee they're going to do something you don't like. And that's where you say no. The thought comes in, he's a jerk. You know what? He's also amazing. And I'm glad he picked me. And you start reminding yourself of the things you love. You start building them up in your mind, even if you don't say it out loud. This is the case for your husband, your spouse, your boss, your employees, your pastor at church. Because hear me on this, behind every person, whether it's your pastor, whether it's your spouse, no matter how holy that person is, no matter how much they've worked on themselves, they still have a flesh. And at some point, you're going to see that. And so control your thoughts. Number 2, honor with your mouth. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Honor with your mouth. We practice this with our kids. My husband grew up in the South. I did not. And when I first started thinking about this law of honor, and it was really important to me as a mother to teach it to our kids, it was like they started saying yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Why? Because they needed to learn from the time they were knee-high to a grasshopper how to honor with their mouth. Because if somehow I'm expecting that they don't know how to honor their parents, but they're going to honor their boss in the future, sorry, honey, that's not going to happen. If they can't honor you in the home, if they can't learn to honor authority with their mouth, they're never going to honor their boss if they don't honor you as a mom and dad. So it was yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am. Learning how to honor with their mouths. Same thing when it comes to, I'm going to go here. Same here when it comes to like honoring the presidency. I'm 40 years old, and over the past 40 years, I've been voting for 20 some years of that. I've had some guys I liked and some guys I didn't. I had sometimes the person I voted for won, and sometimes the person I didn't vote for won. But honor. If you can't honor the man, honor the position. And in all those years, my kids know no matter who's president, we don't tear down and criticize that office. We pray for the person that we voted for, and we also pray for the person we didn't. That they would do a good job and that they would govern our great nation the way it's supposed to be governed. We don't tear down, we don't criticize, we don't dishonor just because we don't agree. Our boss, honoring our boss, treating as special, important, precious, weighty. When's the last time you went into your boss and said, hey, thank you for the opportunity to work here. Thank you for having the vision to start this company. You're changing so many lives. Your boss would probably pass the freak out if you did that. Or as a boss, when's the last time you went to your employee and said, hey, I want you to know that I noticed all the things you do and how you serve our clients. And I want you to know that the work you're doing every single day is changing lives, and I appreciate you. In fact, tomorrow, even if that's all you said, but you could say, tomorrow come in at noon. Or today, I want you to go home a couple hours early, and I want you to go spend a couple hours with your kids. You're a great mom. What if you just honored them? Even if it's just with your words. All right. What about your husband or your wife? Honey, I want to thank you for providing for our family. My kids, even if I take the kids out to dinner and I make money, my husband makes money, we both make money, we both do very well for ourselves. But even if I'm the one paying with the card, did you thank your father for providing a life that I could take you out to dinner? We just went to a concert, me and the kids, when my husband was visiting his mom. Did you thank your father for providing this life that we would be able to take you to a concert? Honoring with our tongue, honoring with our words, literally making it your code, how you live your life. And last and final, honoring with our actions. Honoring with our actions. Do our actions line up with what we're saying? And if you're a parent, I'm going to give you this example. Have you ever told your kids, go clean your room? And they're like, oh, man, meh. Well, sometimes, like in my home, if they're like, oh man, it's like, would you like to try again? Let's try that again. That's not the proper attitude. That's not honor. That's actually disrespect. It's dishonor. Yes, ma'am, I'd be glad to. Now, if they go up there and they're like sulking up the stairs and they're throwing stuff around their room, in our household, that's discipline. Why? Because it's dishonor. And if they walk into the job and their boss tells them to do something they don't want to do, and they don't do it with the honor, they don't make it precious, extraordinary, special, grateful. If they don't treat their little jobs they have now and they don't do it with honor, they do it with dishonor. They treat it ordinary. They treat it not special. I tell them all the time, you at least have a room to clean. Be thankful. You honor your room. You honor this house. You honor your parents by cleaning your room with a cheerful attitude. Not a bad attitude. That is dishonor. You can, with your friends, me and one of my best girlfriends, it's so funny, we try to out honor each other. I'll go to pay for dinner and she'll go to pay for dinner. And then it's so funny because now we have to do things where I have to get up to go to the bathroom when we're ordering food and be like, hey, here's my card, I'm paying for dinner. And then, she'll walk in the door and be like, hey, before we even order, I got this. So we try to out honor each other. Imagine being in a relationship where you're trying to out honor each other, out love each other, out encourage each other, out freaking whatever. You would be so magnetic to everybody else around you. You certainly would become the number one recommended person at whatever it is you do. Because the number one human need is to feel special and important. All your customers, all your clients, if you're single, all your potential people you're looking to maybe get married to, all have the same number one need, to feel special and important. And when you honor and you live a life of honor, you naturally make them feel special and important. And so leaving here tonight, how are you going to go out and apply this? How are you going to leave here and start applying what we talked about? And it's not about you being perfect, because honor is a habit and dishonor is a habit. But it's about you making small steps with your mind, your mouth, and your actions. It's about you now knowing and now taking responsibility that no, I'm in charge of my honor, not other people. I'm in charge. And as you do that, you're going to start seeing your life radically move forward fast. And so if you also are somebody who's like, man, my marriage, I really need to work on my marriage. Coming up, March 18th and 19th, we have an event that we've never done before here at Destiny Global. It is Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage with Mark Gungor. I mean, you're going to be laughing so much that you're going to actually forget you're working on your marriage. This man is known around the world, and he's going to create conversations. He's going to create an environment where it's safe, where you're laughing, but you're still learning at the same time, and you're making an investment into your marriage. So that's going to be a Friday evening, a Saturday morning. It's not long. You can make a date night, a date morning out of it. And if you don't have your ticket, we'll make sure to post the link down below for you to grab your seat and join us virtually March 18th and 19th. And then coming up in April 29th through May 1st is First Steps to Success, our training event. You'll be able to grab your virtual ticket to that. You'll be able to grab your seat. The link will also be down below. You can see what seating options we have for you to attend. But this is where we're going to help go deeper on some success laws. Also showing you the how-tos, giving you specific how-tos on how to start a business, how to move, how to grow your business, literally how to become the most magnetic person, how to increase your closing ratios with your clients, how to become the #1 recommended person in your field, as well as how to communicate better and how to pay off all of your debt, including your mortgage, within 5 to 7 years. And so thank you so much for joining me tonight. I would love to know in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway? What was your biggest takeaway from the night? And we will be back. Mr. Jackie O'Quinn will be back in 2 weeks with your next success tip. And so make sure to mark it on your calendar. If you haven't, smash that like button, and we will see you on the next one.